So actually accessing a new insight in ourselves can feel a little awkward at times. Have you noticed? Doing something different can feel a little awkward. So to actually pull us out of that awkwardness, we need to really know what we're going for. So I'm asking you to think about this. What do you really value? What do you really value? And to get to that question, which is a very deep question, I'm going to ask you to think about somebody that you admire. Somebody that you admire. Somebody that you admire. Somebody I admire lived on Whidbey Island, not too far from here. See, I met her when she was about 92 years old. Her name was Jean White. And she had more energy than most people that I know. She was the president of the Child Nutrition Foundation. She would travel all around the world and coach. And she had these like happy lights in her eyes. I admire her for her resourcefulness, for her curiosity. At 95, she would say, "Isn't it fascinating that you discovered another planet? I wonder what the implication of that is for my life." So I admire Jean for her resourcefulness and for her curiosity, which are also values that I have. What I'd like you to do is think about a person that you admire and what you admire them for. Yes? Think about a person that you admire and what you admire them for. And please share that with the person sitting next to you. I'm going to give you 2 minutes in a moment to talk to the person next to you and say, maybe you introduce each other. You know, maybe you know each other, maybe you don't know each other. And talk about a person that you admire them for. Ready? Off you go. Thank you. So values. I'm very curious, what values did you come up with? I'm going to point in your direction and then please speak them because we'd like to hear as many values as we have time for in this segment. So let's hear them and I'm going to write them down. So let's hear some from this area here, from this area over here. Go ahead.
A growth mindset.
A growth mindset. Love that. A growth mindset. Thank you for that. Another one. Values. Dedication. Just feel it in your bones, right? Dedication. I'm challenged, there's dedication. Suddenly I have something to stand in. Also when things don't go well. What else? Something from me over here. Goal-oriented. Beautiful. Goal-oriented. So there's the it again. Being goal-oriented. Thank you for that. What about here in the middle? Altruism. The other person in mind. Altruism. What else? From here in the front. Yeah, that's you guys. How about you?
Hardworking, I guess.
Hardworking, yes, hardworking. Being hardworking. What else? Yes. Resilient. Even when things don't go well, we can connect to our resilience. Yes, what else? Something from the back. Very much over there. Yes. Resourcefulness. That's such a beautiful word. Resourcefulness. Being full of resources. That's so good. Like sometimes you forget. I've got all these resources inside of me. What else? Yes. Integrity. Very strong, like integrity, which means everything is bound together. Like integrity. Everything is together. Like there's something like that. What else? Maybe from over there. From the couch area over there. Perseverance. Yes. Perseverance. Thank you so much. So here's a couple of values. Why did we think we chose those values? Why did we choose these people? Why did we think we chose those values? Why did we choose those values, you think? Any ideas? Why did we choose those people to think about for values? They're over here. Yes, thank you for that.
Value you want to see yourself.
It's a value you want to see in yourself. It's a value that we want to see in ourselves. So we see something reflected, like a cool video. It's like, ooh, I want that. No, I want that. I want that. I have that with my husband often. My husband is African American, and often he says things in a different way than I do. I'm like, oh, there's a sense of ground. Like, for example, I have been taught that I should be great. I should feel good most of the time. So when my husband asks me, how are you doing? I'm always, oh, I'm fine. His response to that often is, huh, that's all. He's saying something to me. He's like, I think you might be not holding something back. There's something about his truthfulness that I admire. That's a value I have as well. So what I'd like you to do is think about your challenge and what would happen if you apply these values to it a little bit more. What would happen if you apply these values to it a little bit more? And 3 values that I hold are truth, love, and service, like Gene White service. These are 3 things I hold. So if I think about my conflict with Mary and think about becoming more oriented in, let's say, my service, it's not about a conflict. It's not about Mary being right or me being right. It's about making progress and helping these people. And maybe I don't have all the answers. Maybe this is something where we can work together. So what I'd like you to do is, with that same person you just sat with, have a conversation again about a challenge you're facing, a real one. Doesn't have to be big one, can be small one, whatever it is. And have a conversation with the person sitting next to you about what happens when you apply your values, maybe times 2. What happens if just times 2? Okay, off you go, 2 minutes. And if you're sitting next to somebody with 2 or 3, just do it with the 3 of you. Thank you. So what did you notice when you thought about applying your values to this challenge? What happens? What happens? I'm curious. What happens? What does that do? Does it make the problem bigger or smaller? Smaller, probably, because it creates some perspective, you could say. It's like when I'm really stressed out about something, the challenge is right here. That's all I can see. When I add my values to it, I get some different perspectives, just like I get some other voices in there that say, oh, maybe you can approach this a little differently. A monk once said to me, a mind is like a dangerous neighborhood. It's better not to go there by yourself. Like, oh yeah, you got a point. Like, by adding those values to it, I actually get a sense of, like, okay, there's something else that I could be doing and thinking about.